Welcome everyone to this month's Astrocolorscope. My name's Elizabeth Harper. My website is sealedwithlove.com. So the idea of the Astrocolorscope is that in a moment I'm going to dip my hands into this bag of crystals, take 3 crystals for your star sign, individual star sign, and then I'll throw those crystals into a group of the 12 houses just to see where they land. Then I'm going to read the energy of the crystal, the color of the crystal, where the crystals landed, and I'm also going to take a bead from this bag to have an extra little bit of color or whatever else wants to come up from that bag, and I'll take a card from the Voyager deck tarot, and these cards are collages. So what I want you to do then is take a look at the card that comes up for you and see what most attracts you in that card. Then ask yourself, what does that mean? And see what the message is that comes to you. So it's a little bit more individual. So before we get started though on that part of our Astrocolorscope, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the aspects that are coming up this month for July. So the first of the month, between the 1st and the 3rd, it's kind of a little bit exciting because Venus is conjunct Jupiter. Venus is the planet of love, of course, and Jupiter is a planet of expansion and joy and luck. So these two planets are coming together. It's almost like they're giving each other a hug or a big fat kiss, you know. So there's a sense that there's joy that's coming up in relationships, happiness that's coming up. Your heart is being fulfilled. And also at the same time, there's a Uranus and Mercury aspect that's coming in. So you can expect the unexpected. Communications are filled with love. Then on the 2nd of July, there's a full moon in Capricorn as well. And with this, there's a Sun trine Neptune all at the same time. So it's like the universe is saying, let's have a great time at the beginning of July. This is a fabulous time to fulfill your heart's desires. So it's a great time to get married. It's a great time to propose. It's a great time to fulfill whatever it is you want to achieve right now that is close to your heart, because of that Venus energy. It's bringing love into it. And Jupiter, of course, means that great opportunities are coming up. So this is a fabulous time to make your wishes. And, you know, even though the full moon is about a culmination and a completion, it's still a great time to make your wishes and just open up to the universe and to the abundance of the universe. There's also the sense of, you know, pursuing a vision as well. And especially with that Neptune energy, because Neptune is about the imagination. And with the Sun, there's a sense of light coming in. So a vision that may have been blocked, or imagination, or if you've had writing issues, then it's almost like a dam opens up and that energy flows through you so that then your vision can be expanded. You know exactly where you're going. Your imagination is really hot. So it's a great time to write as well. This is a good time to write, especially as Mercury is going in the right direction for a change, right? So it's a great time for creativity, and again for that passion, whatever you are passionate about right now. Then the beginning of the month is a perfect time to get that energy moving for you. On the 6th, there is a sun that the Sun is opposing Pluto, and then on the 9th, Mars is opposing Pluto. So with the Sun opposing Pluto, there's an intensity, because Pluto is an intense planet. It's an intense body. So it's almost like, you know, you don't always get what you want. There's a sense of a tantrum that's coming up with that Sun, because the Sun is, oh, everything's fabulous, everything's wonderful, and then Pluto comes up and says, well, it might not be, because you need to transform something. You need to change something. You need to look at what's going on in your life. And especially with that Mars energy coming up at the same time, almost at the same time. So it can be a little bit of an overbearing time between the 6th and the 9th of the month. It may be that, you know, anger is coming up a little bit more. Energy is coming up to be cleansed. Anything that you've stuffed down there, like irritations or or grievances, that may start to kind of come to the surface. But at the same time, that is an energy dynamic as well, especially with the Sun and Mars. Very hot, very fiery, and you could use it to your advantage. So this could be a great time to get things moving, to get action and heat and passion behind whatever it is you've wanted to get off the ground. So it could be like a little rocket that's being set under you to get things moving. It doesn't have to be negative, doesn't have to be challenging. Then we have the new moon that's coming up in Cancer in the middle of the month on the 16th. Cancer is the home of the home, so it could be around that time that you could start to change things around your home, move your furniture around, just like I've been doing in my office. I've already gotten that energy, and it could well be that you start to plan parties and things that will be more home-based or family-based, connections with your family. So then July 25th, there is a big aspect, a big shift, and that is Venus going retrograde. So at the beginning of the month, we have this Venusian energy, and towards the end of the month, it's coming up again. And when it moves retrograde, it's really about, going inside, connecting again to what you most want, as opposed to looking outside of yourself and maybe relationships. So also around that time, Uranus is going retrograde, and Saturn is retrograde. It's been retrograde since March. So it's like three big planets, three big energies are all moving in reverse. So if we feel into that, if we feel into Venus, which is that planet of love, compassion, desire, joy, and excitement as well, that's in Venus, and all of that is going inside. Saturn is again in that reverse mode as well, so it's almost like you're having to look at what is really important to you. And Uranus going retrograde, it's always a planet of the unexpected, but because of that internal energy that's coming up, it could be that the rug gets pulled from underneath you a little bit, and so then energy has to emerge. So it feels like there's a strength that's coming from that. It doesn't feel negative. It feels like, in the immediate instance, it looks like it's negative, and then something shifts, and you can see a new strength, a new gift, a new talent that emerges from you. That's the sense of it for me anyway. It feels like it clears out the emotions, but to clear it out means that then you find this new ability. Right at the end of the month, there is another full moon. So this is a 2 full moon month. So this is in Aquarius, and with Aquarius, it's a little bit more intellectual. It's a little bit more mind oriented. So again, you have that kind of emotions that are going internally. That focus isn't on the internal life. So your emotions could be a little bit in turmoil because you don't quite know where they are. They're going inside, and then there's this Aquarian energy that's coming up, and it's like a thinking part. So you may be like a fish out of water if you're a very emotional person, and it may be that you just cannot figure out what's going on emotionally, and you might just have to focus a little bit on the intellectual side and maybe where those emotions are coming from, how they are impacting your life, what you can do about creating a balance in your life. And there's another energy that's coming from that. It feels like there's a need to start journaling now as well. And journaling's always good, but there's a sense of journal, and then you can bring this new energy up and out and into your future. And September feels like it's going to be a little bit clearer, but August, this energy is still going on. All right then, so let's get started on the crystals for your star sign. Okay, Leo, so for you, we have a piece of bowenite, and hopefully you can see that. It's kind of a, let's see if I can get it in the camera properly, but it has this translucent look to it. Almost looks like a piece of glass, and it's green and it has this brown that goes through it in little stripes. This helps you to break free of patterns. It helps you to access dream solutions as well. So it's almost like it looks almost like a little pen that you're going to start writing things down. This went into your 4th house. Your 4th house is your home, it's your family, it's your safe space, your private life. So I feel with this, especially as it's green, I feel almost as if you are creating more of a, it's almost like creating more of a safe space around you than you have done in the past. I also feel like you're changing something about your body. So it could be that, especially because it's green, that it could be that you are looking at your diet, changing your diet, shifting things around that. I also feel that you, because it looks like a little writing thing, that you could be writing plans for this next year. And not necessarily, you know, when I think of plans, I often think of business plans, but it could be that you are writing plans. And you know what's popping into my head is November. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but it's just that time period, maybe between now and the end of the year. And it could just be about the end of the year. So it's just that sense is coming to me, you know, writing plans this year and certainly towards the end of the year. I feel with this as well that there's something in your home that you need to find a solution about. And the bowenite is saying you can sleep on it, you can dream about it, you can ask to access the solutions to those problems in your dreams. You just need to focus on that before you go to sleep. One final thing with this, I feel like there's freedom that's coming up as well. So vacation, holiday, seems like it's in the offing, or at least time out. I get you being in a space where there is no noise, there's a free kind of feeling to it. And another thing that's coming up from this is clothing as well. Either changing your clothing or taking clothing in. There's something that's changing around cloth, let's say. Okay, so it's gone now, that's it. Great. So then in your 8th house went this gorgeous piece of Peruvian blue opal. I love Peruvian blue opal. And this helps to heal wounds. It's in your 8th house. That 8th house is about death and rebirth. There's pain that comes up with that. It's a Plutonian energy, so there's transformation that comes with it. This particular stone helps to heal. I feel almost like it's about healing relationships. So there's some kind of karma that has been holding you back. And there's a relationship energy that goes with that karma. And there's a sense of some kind of forgiveness, or there's some kind of change in a relationship that's coming up that helps you then move on. Yeah, it's interesting. When you look on the other side of this, it's like it's being eaten away. So I feel that is the same for you, that something has been eating away at you. And because it's opal, I don't know if you can see a little bit, you know, it's a little bit translucent there. Because it's opal, it has that water element with it. So the water element is the, it has fire as well, you know, quite often, because they have the fiery energy in them. But the water energy is about those emotions. It's about life. It's about going with the flow. And it's almost as if you, have not been able to go with the flow, that something has been stuck. And there's a sense here that it's linking to a relationship, and it could be a relationship that is long gone, and you're still holding on to something around that relationship. Now, what's interesting to me is that the 3 crystals you have are all on that green spectrum. Even though this is called blue, Peruvian blue opal, they're all in a kind of a green spectrum. You see that? This is a bloodstone. So with all these green energies, this bloodstone went into your 11th house. With all these green energies, that can be about karma and about stuff that is stuck. And green is a color of change. So when you get a tree, it has these beautiful sprouting leaves, the green, and then it goes into a darker green. And that is this vibration that's moving through all the colors for you this month, that there's a lot of change that's going on. It's almost like there's something new that's coming in, and then towards the end of the month it goes into this change, and it could go into a place of endings for you. So in the 11th house with the bloodstone, there's a sense of a reconnection with a family member or someone who has been like family to you. I also get this sense of either foreign travel or connections with foreigners. And you know, foreign travel and foreigners would usually be the 9th house. This is in the 11th house, but it just feels like there is something that is around that. It's like a social consciousness that you are linking with, and that is linking you to overseas, something from overseas. The stone that came up for you, the bead that came up for you, is this champagne color. So whenever I see this, I always think of a bottle of champagne going off, you know. But now I'm looking at this, it looks like sand. So I feel that, you know, there's the sands of time, that time is passing, and, you know, a relationship that, or something around relationships needs to be healed. And also, because it's a champagne energy, that as soon as you do that, as soon as you let go, that champagne cork will just pop off, and there'll be celebrations everywhere. You might not actually get physical champagne, but you know, you never know, right? So let's see what card you get. So you have the 2 of Cups. So this is equilibrium. So take a look at that card and see if there's anything in it that attracts you at this moment. Then ask yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? When I look at this, I see these, I'm not sure what they are. It's like at the back there, there's a plant. It's next to the cactus plant, but it's almost like they're buds and they're waiting to pop open. But you know, because it's part of that cactus plant, there's all this water right here, and the cactus hardly needs any water. And what is coming to me is that you have tried to survive all this time, maybe without the sustenance that you needed, maybe without the emotional impact, that emotional life that you needed. And there's a sense in here that something is going to pop open this month for you, and it's almost like a whole new world. It's like a rainbow where you saw black and white, you're going to see a rainbow. There's that kind of sense to it, and it might be a little bit painful to open up. You know, being a bud, being a flower, it can be painful to stay as a bud, and then painful again to open up. But once you've blossomed, once you've flowered, then it's all worth it. You get this wonderful scent of success. Okay, that's it for this month's Astrocolorscope. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do remember to grab my free colour kit at bit.ly/colour kit. And also remember that I do different kinds of readings on my website, sealwithlove.com. I offer crystal gem readings and card readings and soul guidance and all kinds of different things. Plus, I have a store.sealwithlove.com, where I offer all kinds of different jewelry, this bracelet and necklace and rings and lots of meditations and books, of course, etc. So I look forward to seeing you very soon. Do check out my other oracles, the Crystalscope and the Colorscope. Lots of coloricious blessings to you. Bye!